This is Introduction to Geometry. These slides have been pulled from San Jacinto campus. And an overview of what we're going to talk about today is we're going to talk about geometry. We're going to look at the perimeter and area. And for circle, we're going to look at circumference. And then we're going to look at the Pythagorean theorem. Alright, so what is geometry? So geometry pretty much can be said as the study of shapes. And when we talk about some of these shapes, we have the rectangle here, which looks like this. We have triangles, and then we have circles. That's what we're going to be talking about today. So what can we do? We can calculate perimeter and area with these shapes. So first, let's start off with perimeter. So perimeter, the definition, is the measure of distance around the figure. So perimeter is the length from here to here to here to here. That's the perimeter. And then area is the amount of surface in the region. So area is here. So you've kind of heard it before, square feet or something like that have been referred to. Alright, so for triangles, to figure out the perimeter, if we're talking about perimeter, the length all the way around this whole triangle, all we just need to know is A, B, and C. If we know this length, and this length, we can calculate perimeter. So if we knew A was 3, if this was equal to 3, if this was equal to 6, and if this was equal to 7, it'd be 3 plus 7 plus 6, which is 3 plus 7 is 10, then 10 plus 6 is 16, so our perimeter would be 16. And then when we talk about area, area is, for any triangle, area will always be 1/2 b times h, where b is equal to base and h is equal to height. Height is how tall a triangle is, and base is, when I draw a straight line, what is the length of it sitting on. So the base would be here, the base would be here, the base would be here. For this one, the height, this would be the height. The height here is right here. This is the height for this triangle. And so for this triangle in particular that we're already working on, we know, let's say the height is 3. We would say the height is 3, so we know it's 3. We know the base is 7, so we have 7. Then we have 1/2. So 7 times 3 is 21. 1/2 of that is equal to 10.5. Alright, so for rectangle, we want to calculate perimeter. And the way we get this is our W, which is our width, and the longer side is the length. This is the width as well, and this is the length. And so when we're calculating perimeter, it's the width, and then we have a width again. So how many widths do we have? We actually have 2 widths, and we have an L here, and then we have an L here, which means we have 2L. So this is the formula for a perimeter of a rectangle. And then for the area, all we would do is, if we knew W, we knew L, we'd just multiply them. So it's length times width. So this is the area. Alright, for a circle, it's a little bit different. We don't find perimeter, we find circumference. So circumference is the distance around the circle. Instead of saying perimeter, we stop saying perimeter and start saying circumference only for a circle. And so some things we have to know: we need to know what a radius is and what a diameter is. So in geometry, we start referring to radius as r, and we start referring to diameter as d. So the radius is a line segment from the center. So we start at the center, and if we draw a line in any direction, this is the radius. If we draw it from this dot to here, this is the radius. And then the diameter is a line segment across the circle through the center. So diameter is actually double the size of the radius, or you can say the radius is half the size of the diameter. And so here's the formula: circumference, to calculate the distance around of a circle, we use 2 pi r. So 2 pi r is our radius. So when we know the radius, we can actually figure out the problem, the answer. And for area of a circle is just what's on the inside of the circle, and that is pi r squared. So again, for us to calculate circumference or area, we need to know the radius. Alright, so this is a problem. They want us to find the circumference, and we know the formula. We know circumference is equal to 2 pi, and we know r is equal to 1.5. So they define the radius as you find the center and you draw a straight line, and this is the radius. It's 1.5. So we know c, which is circumference, is equal to 2 pi, and the radius is 1.5. So we can keep the pi, and 2 times 1.5 is 3. So our circumference, the distance around, is 3 pi. And what about area? So we know the formula. Area is pi r squared. And if we know the radius, we can plug it in. So the distance from the circle to any point, so this is 4, so our r is equal to 4. And we know the formula, so instead of saying r, we know it's 4. So we put in a 4, so 4 squared times pi. And 4 squared is 16 pi. So area is equal to 16 pi. Real quick, the flag of the day is Turkey. Alright, so one more thing before we're done. The Pythagorean theorem is, this is a scaling triangle because all sides are different lengths. So what happens if we didn't know that this was a 5 and we wanted to figure out this length? We would use something called the Pythagorean theorem. A squared plus b squared is equal to c squared. Or this is a, this is b, and the missing length we don't know is c. So we know a squared, so we know a is 4, so we have 4 squared, b is 3, so 3 squared is equal to c squared. And so 4 squared is 16, 3 squared is 9, is equal to c squared. So that's 25 is equal to c squared. But remember, we just want c by itself. We want to know what c is equal to. And the only way to get rid of a something squared is if we take the square root. So the square root of 25 is 5, and when you square root something that's squared, it just cancels out and it's c. So we know c, this length, is equal to 5. So for summary, we know perimeter and area. Perimeter is the distance around something. Area is on what's on the inside. The Pythagorean theorem helps us find the missing side length.